Yo, what's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Kodak 904. I'm back at it again, man. We got to talk about this one. We got to talk about this one. I got a lot to say tonight. Well, I'm going to take it. A lot of people, it's probably early morning for a lot of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But for me, this morning I'm going to get on and give y'all something I normally don't do, but I'm going to do it tonight. But check this out. I got something I want y'all to hear before I take it to the next level. So in the meantime, between time, y'all check it out. You can tell when I walk in the room, I got it on me. Kush cologne, you smell the perfume, I got it on me. You're hustling, getting it all, I got it on me. Don't care about the ticket or call, I got it on me. You talking about drip, I got it on me. Extra clip, I got it on me. Need no lip, I got it on me. I got it on me. Talking about drip, I got it on me. Extra clip, I got it on. Need no lip, I got it on me. I got it on me. I got it on me. Walk in, I be showing off, either going in or I'm going off. When I'm holding guns, I don't show them off. Put a hole in one, I ain't going golf. You can hold your tongue, go and hold your thoughts. Paramedics have to tote you off. Ligament to be broken off. Whole soul to be floating off. I don't follow trends, I follow protocol. Like I teach something to the know-it-all. I don't even gotta get the bros involved. 2 straps with me like overalls. Keep winning overall. Keep a love, hold a call. First time she get cracked, spin back like a ball. And I got it on me. You ain't gotta ask again. That why she on, that why she on. She let me smash her friend. She callin' my phone, asking for clones, say that she lonely. Told me pull up and bring us a bud. You know that it's on, You can tell when I walk in the room, I got it on. Kush cologne, you smell the perfume, I got it on. Been hustling, getting it all, I got it on. Don't care about the ticket or call, I got it on. You talking about drip, I got it on. Extra clip, I got it on. Need no lip, I got it on me. I got it on me. Talking about drip, I got it on me. Extra clip, I got it on. Need no lip, I got it on me. I got it on me. I got it on me. I'm about to go back in. Finessing they ass 2 times for that back end. She pretty and she thick as fuck. She like the way I pick her up and make her back bend. I'm reppin' that Mac time. You know that west side where the black is. Killing innocent nigga. Against the style. Yeah, that was back then. Now it's MOB. Money over free. But the one STRONG. For the law to hold, but in the O and me. Nigga 10 toe down like MOD. And then yo, big ain't go ahead with the whole shit. Go ahead, your people going oh shit. That's why I try to stay calm like the ocean. Take a few way when I start with the motion. Turn like a bill when I walk by. Yeah, I feel don't kill when I pop out. Yeah, we smoke in the air like a pop fly. Yeah, when I pop this bottle, we gon' rock out. Okay, get a bit for good till you cock out. We the chat man, boy, from the top side. Well, you never see the nigga with the Glock out. But we'll clap in the air like a high five. Okay, you can tell when I walk in the room. I got it on. Kush cologne, you smell the perfume. I got it on. Been hustling, getting it all. I got it on. Yo, what's that? I'm live on YouTube. What's happening?
Nothing, I'm just checking up on you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. What you working on?
Nothing much to lay it down for a minute.
Oh. What you must have been up. You been up with you just getting out? You getting off work or something?
No, I've been home the whole day today.
Oh. I got
Why
you.
you leave me on that panel by myself?
When?
Earlier today.
You would come in here and ask me that right now.
Babe, you know I gotta ask you.
Well, since you're here, you might well say hello to YouTube. Say what's up.
What's happening?
Alright. That's Island Baby, y'all. She over there off Live Me. She be doing her thing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She just came through to check on your boy, see what your boy up to. Let me see what's really going on in her head. What you got going? Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna make you famous. You gonna be famous.
I was just stopping in to see what you were doing.
Well, that's
because I got scolded earlier telling you. Remember what you asked me earlier?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Turn around and said the burger.
Yeah.
You got mad at me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I ain't.
I don't worried about it.
I don't mean to start no conflict or nothing like that.
No, you good. Shit.
But
So he over there with the
since
in the North
since
one.
since you're here, I mean, well, you already. I don't know if you know about the industry or whatever, but these the type of time of days or the type of hours I be creative in my mind. So I be wanting to do my little researches and you know what I'm saying, put a little info out there, drop a little jewels. Somebody out there might hear it. You feel me? I want mine to be a little different from everybody else's anyway. Mine's is raw and uncut. Maybe in the near future we'll, you know what I'm saying, collaborate the two. But in the meantime, between time, they got to hear us. They can't see us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm not Vlad, I'm not academics, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, none of them, you know what I'm saying? I'm not Skull, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, what his name? Choke no joke. I'm not Hassan Campbell, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not none of them. I'm low budget. For real, but low budget, you know what I'm saying? Podcaster that do his own little thing when I get ready. I can't I don't play fair with others. So I guess they'll find me when you know what I'm saying?
Coming.
Yeah, it's like if they find me, they find me. You know what I'm saying? If they find my content run across their screen, then you get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, where you say you from again?
I'm from Guam.
So what, you gotta catch a boat to get there or something? Where that's at?
You gotta catch a plane.
You gotta take a
I'm
plane?
actually not. I'm not too far from the Philippines.
For the Philippines. Everybody shouts out to the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? So what you part Filipino and what?
Yeah,
You
my grandfather's from the Philippines, so that makes us half.
okay. So your mom and dad is Filipino, half Filipino?
My daddy is. My mama's not.
Okay. Okay. All right. How many kids you got?
Me?
Yeah.
I actually have two.
Okay. Okay. You ever thought about being a content creator?
You know what? I'm gonna be real up and straight. Like with you, I don't even do. I just come in to associate with people, and that's it. I don't take these apps like that. You know.
Ah, see, because you on the app, I feel you. But as far as
Yeah.
like,
I just come in and talk to people, and that's it after that.
uh, me, my thing is to be the one to come up with the best topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's my job.
See, so that's it.
That's how I eat. You feel me? If I don't come up with a good topic on this app or on this platform or on TikTok or you know what I'm saying, my thing is to always have good content.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So that's what I do. I interview people, I hear things that sounds interesting. Like Jason Lee exposing what Jay-Z and allegedly did to Nicki Minaj. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what Jay-Z allegedly did to Nicki Minaj. So I was just about to listen to that shit and comment on it and react to that shit. For real, for real. Cause think about it. People be in the bubble on the apps, they be listening to shit that they don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? But they at the same time they don't want to come in the beam because they don't, you know what I mean? They either don't know a person or you know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
they just passing through and came across some information that made them sit in here and just you know what I'm saying, just listen and shit. So either way it go, I act like I don't see them, but I see them. You feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
so I still do it because if it ain't me DJing, then it's me doing content. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So uh you listen to rap music?
I do, but not all the time.
So if you were to listen to rap,
Give me your 5 best rap artists to you.
I listen to Mo3. I
Okay.
listen to Little Dirt. Who else I listen to? Who else I listen to? That's 2. So I listen to. I usually listen to Little Wayne sometimes.
Okay, so that's 3. Give me 2 more. This is interesting.
What the fuck?
This is interesting.
Hold on.
I always ask everybody that be on my platform these questions. Now, little do you know or not, you might want to tap in on this, you know, broadcast that I'm having now because you're part of it. However, go ahead. You got Lil Wayne, Mo3. You got
Little Dirt.
Lil Dirt. Okay, give me 2 more.
Who else I know?
This crucial.
I used to love Eminem, but I don't even listen to him no more. That's 4.
Okay, you want 4M. Okay, Eminem. Give me 1 more.
What the fuck is his name?
Me, I'm all over the place. I listen to people from the north and the south, so I'm all over the place, and my list is kind of like complicated. But
who's the one that? Hold on, let me look at my list here.
Oh Lord, she cheating. It's supposed to be off the top of your head.
God.
It's supposed to be off the top of your head. The ones you can't forget that you know you're gonna play. And then I got another one for you. You're gonna love this one. Somehow you have
Kevin Gates. There you go.
Oh,
I wasn't looking.
Yeah, you say Kevin Gates like that? Yeah, hey, okay. You pee drinking Kevin Gates. All right. That's her 5. So she got Eminem, Lil Durk, Lil Wayne, Kevin Gates, and Mo3. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good little setup. That's a good little setup. But if you had to delete one, who would it be?
Lil Wayne.
And why?
Just cause.
This is just cause. Like he got a lot of hits that we still play today.
Yeah. But don't Mo3 have a lot of hits too?
Yeah.
Kevin Gates has a lot of hits.
Yeah, they do. They do. I gotta give it to you. They do. Okay. But you don't hear nobody really playing Eminem right now. And you really like if you're in the South, you really don't hear too many people play Lil Durk either.
Mm-hmm.
But that's no here nor there. But that's for the men. Give me your 5 female rap artists of all times for this millennium. The females. We got the guys out of the way.
Hold on, let me see. What's her name? Pink. What's her name? What's that?
I can't. I don't know. You got to tell me.
No, hold on. The fuck.
I know. It's a lot of hot fire artists out there. Like Lil Boosie daughter, she's good. To me, she is fire. You know what I mean? She's like the next up and coming artist to really take over mainstream to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of other.
Let me tell you, I don't even listen to none of the female rappers. That's why I don't know none of them.
What? So
I don't.
You don't listen to the Megan Thee Stallion. You don't listen to.
I don't listen to none of it.
What? That's odd. I mean, I've never heard of females that don't listen to them. But then again, it's not. It's. I mean, it's common. It's common. It's a little odd But at the same time, it's common because you probably grown out of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you probably don't even, I mean, that's not your cup of tea to be, you know what I mean, just dancing, just your behind, just wiggling everywhere. That's probably just not your style. You know what I mean? You more or less like a female that like bars, that like lyrics. Which is, I mean, you got some that do got some bars and lyrics on the female side too. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you heard anything, but if I would even play some of the hot stuff, you'd probably be like, "Yeah, I liked it. That's how." But that's no here nor there. But back to what I was getting ready to do. Um, your boy Jason Lee. Do you know him?
No.
Okay. All right. Jason Lee knows Beyonce and Jay-Z very, very well. And I say that to say I was just getting ready to find out what he had to say about Beyonce. Are you a Beehive fanatic? Okay, you're not a Beehive fanatic. Okay, good. All right, so boom. Let's check it out because I heard Jay-Z was kind of mean. He's like real trifling behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Never seen it. That's not to say that I
Check
don't like
this
her.
out.
Some people just can't accept the fact that their time is past. And so they're using all these young girls. Nikki, let me just say her name politically. Nikki's using all these young girls to be able to leverage their name because she felt
nobody saw this coming. Not after years of drama. Not after all the public shots. Not after everything that went down between Jason Lee and Nicki Minaj. But suddenly, the energy shifted. And now, everything is pointing in one direction. Jay-Z. Because according to the transcript, what started as a messy feud between Jason and Nicki turned into something way bigger. Something that has fans.
I heard he took her money. I heard he took like $7 million from her. Like, I don't know, allegedly, if that's true or not. But at the same time, that's what this whole feud is about. And well, it's part of it. But I believe this feud right here is a for real feud, like court case feud and all types of stuff. Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money too, especially for one female, and you owe it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like she didn't. It's not like she wasn't on the label, so I can imagine. I mean, it's not like he don't steal other people's bars, other people's songs. It's not like you know what I'm saying. So I can imagine. I heard Drake do the same thing, but allegedly. So I don't know. Let's see.
Two former enemies are now aligning against one of the most powerful figures in the industry. And it didn't happen quietly. Jason went public. He started talking about industry gatekeepers.
Uh-oh.
He claimed powerful people were trying to silence him.
Oh, it's going down.
He said he was getting calls warning him to stop speaking and directly named Jay-Z.
Yo, hype me up, man. Y'all hype me up. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Likes, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Check me out. Because we're going to go a little bit down this rabbit hole to see what exactly are they talking about.
That alone set the internet on fire. Because this wasn't just gossip anymore. This was someone positioning himself as a target of power. At the same time, Nicki has been making her own claims, suggesting she's been blocked, sidelined, even professionally sabotaged by powerful figures behind.
Now, that's another thing, too. As good as Nicki Minaj can rap, she been, like, for the past couple of years, she been like barking at Jay-Z for a minute, and Jay-Z don't never address her like how he addressed everything else in the industry. Yeah. I noticed that. I don't know if the industry noticed that or if the people online noticed that, but he don't address Nicki at all. He don't say nothing to Nicki, and it could because they could really have some for real court documents going on behind the scenes that required for him to stay away from her, and some real legal issues going on there. But I've noticed that. But everything else and everybody else, if it's really, really, real serious, he'll do an interview and try to address the situation or try to make it sound a little simpler than what it really is or downplay it. He downplay a lot of stuff that's serious. And that really would put someone like that under the microscope. Like, my house on fire, and he'd be like, it's just the roof. It's just the roof's on fire. You just got to put it out and put a new one up there. You know what I'm saying? He downplays everything
in the scenes. Now here's where it gets wild.
Where?
Fans are starting to connect the dots. Because when two voices who used to be at war suddenly start pointing in the same direction, people pay attention. And the biggest question right now is this just coincidence? Or is something bigger unfolding behind the scenes?
No coincidence. And a lot of stuff is starting to unfold behind the scenes to me, I tell you.
Because if even part of what's being hinted at is real, this isn't just industry drama.
Oh, this getting ready to be good. They getting ready to drop some jewels. Let me see what they're talking about.
Power in hip hop. And trust me, this is just the beginning. To understand why this moment feels explosive, you have to.
It kind of do feel explosive, though. It kind of do. Like, come on with it. Give me the meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? It kind of do. Like, lay it on me and lay that shit thick, mama. Don't you wait.
And because the idea of Jason Lee and Nicki Minaj even appearing aligned would have sounded impossible just a year ago. Their fallout was loud, public, personal. In September 2023, Jason made a shocking claim about Nicki and her husband, alleging he felt
What'd he say? What'd he say?
In a dangerous way. A statement that instantly went viral because of how serious it sounded. He even said he had proof and planned to take it to the district attorney. That wasn't subtle tension. That was nuclear. And it cemented the perception that Jason and Nicki were permanent enemies. But in entertainment, alliances shift fast. The transcript makes clear that things started to change when Jason began talking more aggressively about industry gatekeepers, particularly when it came to Jay-Z.
I know this is like tripping me out right now. Hold on. He getting ready to lay it thick. I'm reacting to it too. Like, I'm like almost ready to say something. I'm almost, but I want to hear where we going with this. Go ahead, lay this shit
Jason
down.
Claimed that Jay-Z had people calling him and warning him to stop speaking publicly. He said,
Is that the reason why he been quiet?
Guess so.
I was just talking about that. Like, is that why he quiet? Like, is that really the truth why he quiet? That could be. It just made sense to me, but I don't know what the situation is. But that made sense. I see him being. I've over time, long period of time. A lot of times he don't say nothing.
Jay-Z, I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Call me yourself. That moment reframed him.
And allegedly, that's supposed to have been Nicki saying that. We reading these text messages over here. It's like an autobiography book. Let's get it, man.
Instead of just being a gossip commentator, he positioned himself as someone challenging power. And that's where Nicki enters the picture again. Because for years, Nicki has openly expressed frustration about what she describes as industry politics blocking her career.
You know, she ain't the only one that was complaining about Jay-Z. And I say that because, excuse me, in the beginning, the very first person that really made a serious, heated complaint about Jay-Z, like as far as the music and business wise was DMX. That's who he was talking to when they stopped him and he was talking on the microphone. He was like saying, "You faggot motherfucker, this." I might pull that up. Don't make me pull that up, but I will pull that up. But that's who he was talking to. He was talking to Puffy. He was talking to Puffy in them.
She has accused major figures, including Jay-Z, of misleading her about business matters tied to Tidal and of allegedly trying to quiet her with financial offers. To be clear, these are claims Nicki has made publicly. They have not been legally proven in court, and Jay-Z has not been found guilty of wrongdoing in relation to those allegations.
I ain't gonna lie though, that nigga there always coming up under shit. He come from up underneath that shit. Like you need like miss me with that bullshit. Like he be dodging a lot of shit. He be dodging a lot of shit. I don't know who his lawyers is. God damn. That nigga boy, he make moves, he making moves and moving like he's well protected somehow. I don't know.
But the repetition
I don't know. Let's see what they say.
Of these claims built a narrative. Then Nicki has also suggested that powerful industry figures have tried to limit her voice and elevate other artists at her expense.
I hope she ain't talking about blackballing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Could they sue her if she still put out music another way? Like,
I don't think so.
Call me the dumbest rock in the box. I don't know. Let's get it, man.
Again, allegation, not proven fact. Yet when Jason began echoing themes about gatekeeping and behind-the-scenes control, fans noticed the overlap. Now add another layer. The Super Bowl controversy. When Jay-Z selected Kendrick Lamar for the 2025 Super Bowl performance instead of
I seen that shit.
Oh, Lord. There we go. Now, I don't understand. Stop me from being goddamn it slow. And I only got just the bus driver and me on this short bus right here. What?
I'll be back.
All right. What difference did it
I'm
make?
gonna run to the bakery and I'll be back.
All right. What's up, chat? Chat, tell me, chat, what's really going on? I mean, he left. I mean, not he left, but man, listen. Why is it a big issue that everybody wanted the hottest song in America to be played at the Super Bowl? Yes, it was a diss to Drake. Yes, it was. It was a diss to Drake. Yes, it was. But what I'm getting at is this. It was a personal message. It was a diss song for the Super Bowl. Now, it was the hottest song, and everybody in the crowd, even the crowd, the audience, everybody was singing, everybody was dancing to it. I mean, it was a lot of facts in the song, yeah, but that was his moment. That was like Drake moment to shine. You feel what I'm saying? And shit, he did that. Drake ain't never responded. It's like almost like he ended his career, but I mean, he ain't really. I mean, his time is up. He stayed number one for a long time on the charts, and you know that number one slot can be bought. So, I mean, he made his money. They made his money. He needed, you know what I mean, either be a producer or show other people how to get there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other talented artists that, you know, ain't never been there. Don't know what it's like to feel like, you know, the world want to hear their song, or if their song was even good enough to be played on the radio. Because back in the days, that's what it was about, getting your song on the radio. But now, shit, we got stuff like this. We come so far along. We got Jay-Z doing stuff like this.
The decision sparked debate. Nicki openly vented frustration about that decision. Jason, interestingly, focused less on attacking Nicki, which had been his usual approach, and more on criticizing what he described as industry gatekeeping. That tonal shift did not go unnoticed. Fans started whispering, is Jason softening toward Nicki? Is there a strategic pivot happening? The transcript also references that Jason had previously criticized Nicki harshly, even engaging with viral conversations like deportation petitions and labeling her controversial. So the change in tone felt deliberate. But it gets deeper. Nicki has recently reshared interviews involving individuals connected to Roc Nation leadership, including claims made by Desiree Perez's daughter during a legal dispute. Those claims suggested that Roc Nation worked to undermine Nicki.
And by the way, that Perez lady, the one that's really like undercover working with the police, or I don't know if she still works for the police undercoverly or whatever the case may be. She's real spooky because you don't know her position and you don't know nothing about her, but she has ties to the police. She has ties to the feds. She has met with the feds on multiple occasions, and there's proof of that. But what I'm getting at is this. For her and Jay-Z to run a record label, I mean, together, is spooky. And that only leads to one thing, is to one question. It's a possibility that Jay-Z could be a confidential informant, allegedly. But it looks like that. It feels like that. And the way he moves is like that. Let's get back on the case, man. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like.
Important clarification. Those statements are allegations made in interviews. They have not been proven in court, and no legal finding has confirmed that Roc Nation engaged in sabotage. Still, when public figures amplify such interviews, narratives grow. And Jason has increasingly positioned himself as someone willing to question Roc Nation and Jay-Z publicly. As that convergence, even if...
Hey, by the way, man, get your motherfucking green, get your drink. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, hit the like button, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? I'm chopping up what, they got out here on the internet, what they talking about Jay-Z. And at one point, to me, he was one of the best rappers, but he was never the king of New York, though. I'm going to just tell you that right now.
If unofficial, created the perception of alignment. Now here's where things get especially sensitive. The transcript mentions rumors that Jason has spoken behind the scenes about Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly making professional moves to damage Nicki's career.
And I believe that. I believe they did just that. I believe that. I really believe that, because he do a lot of devilish things to people in the industry. I've been hearing some things, and we're going to get to that too. That's going to be on a couple of other shows I'm going to be having pop out. But check this out, man. It's really happening what he doing in the industry. It's like they know he doing this and they allowing it.
Let's be very clear. Those are rumors and speculation. There is no verified evidence or legal finding confirming that Jay-Z or Beyonce sabotaged Nicki's career. But the fact that such rumors are circulating, combined with Jason's public gatekeeping narrative.
I wonder what kind of narrative, what kind of allegations they saying they, how can you silence someone in the industry? Like, and why would you? If she got fans that's waiting on her to come out with more and more new music, and why would you prevent someone from making money so that they can feed their family or do other things of that nature? Why would you want to stop the money from flowing into your pockets when this person right here was, at one point of time, everything was on the up and up? I mean, I wonder what happened.
Fuels outrage. And then there's the historical context. The transcript references artists like Blue Cantrell and others who faced career downturns and later became subjects of speculation about industry politics. Again, speculation.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I've been around a lot of industry politics enough to talk about the industry politics. So I wouldn't dare challenge that, I've been around, because I've been around, I'm Kodak 904, you know what I'm saying, from Jacksonville, Florida. But I'm originally from New York, South Jamaica, Queens. And I can talk about this.
Proven fact. But in hip-hop culture, eye patterns, even alleged ones, create storylines.
Not to mention, I'm 49. I'm 49. So, you can try to steer me wrong or whatever have you, but nigga, it's up.
It's gone as far as making extreme, unverified claims about powerful figures maintaining control behind the scenes, including commentary about age gaps in past relationships.
Listen, back in the early 80s and 70s of hip hop, the way hip hop was, they brought it all the way to this far, and they knew they was going to be extorted. A lot of them didn't care that they was going to be extorted. They wanted to make the money. You understand? New York City is the Mecca of hip hop, and always will be the Mecca of hip hop. And they'll always play the songs that made hip hop, if that makes any sense to you guys.
It escalates controversy dramatically. None of those claims have been validated by court rulings, but they generate emotion, and emotion drives engagement. So now we have this moment. Jason Lee, once Nicki's loudest critic, increasingly criticizing Jay-Z.
Hey, and we're going to hear what he had to say too. Check it out.
And Roc Nation's influence. Nicki, long vocal about feeling blocked or sabotaged. Fans.
And she should, because she was.
Watching closely. Is this a real alliance forming, or simply overlapping frustrations? Jason has not fully switched sides. Even in early 2026, he continued calling out Nicki's controversial moments. So this isn't a full truce. It's something more nuanced. Strategic proximity. And that's what makes this volatile. Because if Nicki were to sit down with Jason on Hollywood Unlocked and publicly name names, the internet would explode.
It really
right now,
would.
nothing has been legally proven. No court ruling confirms sabotage. No documented evidence establishes wrongdoing by Jay-Z in the claims referenced. But perception? Perception is shifting. And in the entertainment industry, perception can be just as powerful as proof. Which brings us to the next escalation. Because if this alignment solidifies, the fallout could be massive. And the industry is watching very closely. This is where everything shifts. Because it's one thing for Jason Lee to gossip. It's another thing for him to position himself as someone challenging power. And according to the transcript, and that's exactly what happened when he went public claiming that Jay-Z had people calling him, telling him to stop talking. He didn't whisper it. He said it directly. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. That statement alone reframed him. Not as a blogger chasing headlines, but as someone suggesting he felt pressure from a powerful machine. Now let's be clear. There is no verified proof publicly confirming that Jay-Z ordered anyone to contact Jason or silence him. These statements are Jason's claims, not court-validated findings. But perception doesn't wait for validation. And perception exploded. Because at the same time, Nicki Minaj had been openly speaking about feeling professionally blocked. She has accused major industry figures, including Jay-Z, of misleading her regarding business matters tied to Tidal and attempting to quiet her with financial offers. Again, these are her claims. They have not been legally proven in court. But when two public voices begin echoing themes about gatekeeping, control, and being silenced, the internet connects dots instantly. And that's where the conflict ignited. Because this wasn't just old beef anymore.
Nope.
This became narrative warfare. For years, Nicki and Jason were publicly at odds. He criticized her politics. He leaned into viral controversies around her. He framed her as chaotic and problematic. Then suddenly, his tone softened. He began framing her not as unstable, but as someone possibly boxed in by larger industry forces. That pivot was subtle, but powerful, and fans noticed immediately. Was this redemption? Was this strategy? Or was this the beginning of an unofficial alliance built on shared frustration? Here's the first major twist. Jason didn't actually declare loyalty to Nicki. He didn't apologize. He didn't retract his past criticisms. Instead, he shifted focus. He aimed his microphone at the structure. He began talking about gatekeepers controlling access behind the scenes. That shift allowed him to critique power without fully aligning himself with Nicki. It was a strategic middle ground. And here's why that matters. Because if he had fully switched sides, it would look opportunistic. If he stayed fully against her, it would look inconsistent with his new anti-gatekeeping narrative. So instead, he hovered, close enough to overlap with her claims, far enough to maintain independence. And that tension is what makes this volatile. And now add another accelerant, the Super Bowl controversy. When Jay-Z selected Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne for the 2025 Super Bowl, debate exploded. Nicki vented publicly. Jason didn't attack her as aggressively as he might have before. Instead, he framed it as an example of industry power choosing favorites. Fans saw that as alignment.
And see, they was always good at choosing or being favoritism. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. In the industry, it's a lot of favoritism going on. Always have been for years, for decades. And as long as that was around, that's like being prejudiced against someone that deserves it and giving it to someone that you like best or you like the most. You know what I'm saying? So that's always been there. You know, they could have had that person behind the scenes and made themselves, you know, the person that they say that they'll put, you know, first, or they'll make them a star. I never really liked that creep stuff. That's like being a dirty cop, you know what I'm saying? Or a dirty producer, or you bending the rules to where, you know, it's not, you mixing it with emotions. You mixing business with emotions when you take a young lady and you work with her in the studio and you make her famous and this and that. You know, they was bending the rules. They was having sex with these young girls. They was, you know, allegedly you know, and you can't hide it and deny it. And then, I mean, come on, I'm not stupid. It's a lot of us that's not stupid. Jay-Z did it. Diddy did it. LL did it. All of them did it. All of them did it. Bobby Brown. All of them did it to a younger female that's younger than them. They all did it. But they'll never tell you. I'm going to just say allegedly, but they'll never tell you that they did it. They did it. And it's records of it. And people looked over it. They ain't never seen nothing wrong with it. I mean, they did it. Played in your face. Right in front of y'all faces. Didn't even know. Half of them songs that these young ladies were singing when it came down to R&B, they were singing about somebody or their real life experiences. You know, look at Mary J. They say she makes her best songs when she's in pain or a guy done cheated on her or something like that. That's when she makes her best songs. That's crazy to me. Let's go further, man. I'm done talking.
And alignment creates anticipation. Because the thought of Nicki sitting down on Hollywood Unlocked and speaking freely about her alleged experiences with industry power players, that's nuclear content. Now here's the second twist. The rumors about a formal truce are just that. Rumors. The transcript makes clear Jason has continued to call out Nikki on certain issues even in early 2026. So this isn't friendship, it's convergence. Two people who may not like each other, but share a common critique of power. And in politics and hip-hop, the enemy of my enemy becomes strategic territory. Now let's talk stakes. If Jason fully platforms Nikki to detail her allegations against Jay-Z or Roc Nation, that's not just gossip. That's confrontation with one of the most powerful entities in music. And confronting power comes with risk. Legal risk, reputational risk, access risk. Jay-Z has not been found guilty of wrongdoing in relation to these allegations. Roc Nation has not been legally proven to sabotage artists. But narratives matter. And narratives shape public perception of power. Here's where it escalates emotionally. Nikki has suggested that powerful industry figures have tried to elevate other artists at her expense. She's implied professional sabotage. She's referenced shadow banning and influence. Again, allegations, not proven fact. But when those claims are amplified by a media personality who claims he too feels targeted by the same power structure, it creates a shared storyline. Gatekeeper versus outsider, machine versus voice. And fans eat that up. But here's the strategic brilliance. Jason positions himself as brave for speaking up. Nikki positions herself as vindicated for having spoken up earlier. Neither has to prove a crime. They just have to question the system loudly enough to create doubt. That's the first twist. This may not be about proving what Jay-Z did. It may be about challenging how much control people believe he has. And that's a different battlefield. Because challenging influence is safer than alleging crime. And influence is subjective. Now let's address the elephant in the room. There have been extreme, unverified claims circulating online, including commentary about past relationships and industry manipulation. Those claims have not been validated by legal findings. They remain speculation. But the mere existence of those conversations fuels outrage. And outrage fuels engagement. The conflict is no longer personal. It's ideological. Power versus platform. Institution versus individual voice. Jason Lee, a blogger once dismissed by mainstream media, positioning himself as someone willing to question the Roc Nation machine. Nicki Minaj, a superstar claiming she's been boxed out by that same machine. That's a compelling narrative. But here's the cliffhanger twist. Neither side has crossed the legal line into documented accusation. They imply, they suggest, they criticize, but they stop short of releasing concrete evidence. Why? It's because escalation without proof becomes defamation. And defamation lawsuits are expensive. So the war stays in the realm of narrative, not courtroom. At least.
And see, that's what Jay-Z good at. Leaving it in the realm of rumors. He don't give it, he don't care if you say it, as long as he don't get caught or his hand ain't in the cookie jar, then it's gonna stay in the rumors realm. It's gonna go round and round and round. All of us is gonna hear about it until he really caught with some receipts. Let's move further because this is getting interesting.
For now, the real question isn't whether Jay-Z did something specific, because nothing has been proven in court. The real question is whether this perceived alignment between Jason and Nikki evolves into something formal. An interview, a joint appearance, a public naming of names. If that happens, the internet will detonate. If it doesn't, this remains a slow burn challenge to industry hierarchy. Right now, the conflict is alive but controlled, charged but careful, public but strategic. And if one wrong word is spoken, it could shift from viral drama to legal confrontation overnight. That's the tension, and it's only building. Just when people thought this was going to stay in the subtweet phase, it escalated. Not with a lawsuit, not with a diss track, not with a press conference, with tone. Because once Jason Lee publicly framed himself as someone being pressured by powerful forces, and Nicki Minaj continued reinforcing her long-standing complaints about industry gatekeeping, the energy changed. It wasn't gossip anymore. It became narrative alignment. And the internet picked up on it instantly. Clips from Jason's podcast started circulating with captions like, "Why is he suddenly defending Nicki? Is this the beginning of a Roc Nation takedown? Why are they both pointing at the same person?" The person at the center of that speculation? Jay-Z. Now let's pause and clarify something very clearly. There is no verified legal ruling confirming that Jay-Z sabotaged Nicki Minaj's career. There is no court decision proving that Roc Nation orchestrated professional blocks. There is no documented evidence publicly released that confirms coordinated silencing efforts. What exists are public claims, interviews, and commentary. But in entertainment, claims can move markets. And here's where escalation turns strategic. Jason didn't double down recklessly. He didn't accuse Jay-Z of a crime. He kept his framing focused on power dynamics and gatekeeping. That language matters, because gatekeeping isn't illegal. It's subjective, it's influence, it's favoritism, it's access control. And once you start questioning who controls access in hip-hop, you're no longer talking about one incident. You're talking about hierarchy. That's the shift. And then came the subtle move that shocked fans. Nicki began resharing content connected to past legal disputes involving Roc Nation affiliates, including interviews where individuals alleged internal manipulation. Again, those statements are allegations made in interviews, not court-validated findings. But the amplification was intentional, and amplification signals intent. Now the timeline becomes important. Jason publicly challenges the idea of gatekeepers. Nicki amplifies narratives of being blocked. Fans begin speculating about a Hollywood Unlocked sit-down. That possibility alone started trending. Because imagine the optics. Nicki Minaj sitting across from Jason Lee, both openly discussing power, both hinting at being targeted. That's not just drama, that's positioning. But here's the shocking reveal. The real escalation may not be about Jay-Z at all. It may be about leverage. Think about it. Nicki has one of the most loyal fan bases in music. Jason has a media platform built on viral moments. If they align publicly, even loosely, they create pressure. Not legal pressure, public pressure. And public pressure forces silence or response. So far, there has been no explosive public response from Jay-Z. No lengthy rebuttal, no press tour, no statement campaign, just silence. And silence in the face of implication is interpreted two ways, either confidence or calculation. Because sometimes responding elevates a narrative, sometimes ignoring it starves it. But here's where the story twists again. Jason didn't fully commit to defending Nicki. He still critiques her when controversy flares. He still calls out what he sees as reckless behavior. So this isn't loyalty. It's strategic overlap, and that makes it more dangerous. Because loyalty can be dismissed as bias. Strategic overlap looks organic. Now zoom out. The Super Bowl selection controversy, when Jay-Z backed Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne, became another symbolic flashpoint. Nicki expressed frustration. Jason framed it as evidence of gatekeeping. Neither accused a crime, but both implied influence.
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. That part right there. See, because if you in New Orleans and the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, Wayne is the king of New Orleans. Hands down. Hands down. He the king of New Orleans, hands down. Ain't no better rapper than Wayne in New Orleans. So that was a slap in the face. That was and make it so bad, they all was friends. Wayne and Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z was cool with all of them, so that they say. But if you could just hear what Jay-Z talks about in his mind, he don't like nobody but himself. If you really want to know.
Influence is harder to disprove. And that's the brilliance of the escalation. You don't allege illegal sabotage. You question
How do you go from rapping, you retiring from rap, you retiring, right? But he ain't really retired until after DMX passed away. As long as DMX was alive and breathing, he knew DMX was a better rapper than him, hands down, period. DMX was a better performer than him, period, hands down. You got to give people their flowers, man, and they wasn't giving this man his flowers. You feel me? I mean, I wish it was more I could have done, but as a rapper, my best 5, I'm going to tell y'all at the end of the show, but check it out.
Systemic favoritism. You don't claim conspiracy. You highlight patterns. And patterns create doubt. Now here's the reveal nobody expected. Industry insiders, and quietly, started saying the real risk isn't defamation, it's access. Because challenging powerful executives publicly can close doors. Radio relationships, festival bookings, collaborations. Those channels are rarely discussed openly, but they exist. And if artists or media personalities are perceived as combative toward power structures, consequences can unfold subtly. Again, no verified proof that such consequences have been imposed here. But the perception of risk is enough to make people cautious. So why is Jason doing it? Why is Nicki continuing to poke at the system? Because outrage drives relevance, because controversy drives clicks, because challenging power generates loyalty. And here's the psychological twist. When audiences believe someone is being silenced, they amplify them louder. That's human instinct. Nicki's fans already believe she's been mistreated. Jason's audience thrives on explosive industry revelations. Combine those ecosystems, you get volatility. But here's the cliffhanger that keeps this from exploding fully. No concrete evidence has been released. No receipts, no documents, no contracts, just narratives. And narratives without proof hover in a gray zone. Escalate too far and it becomes legal exposure. Stay in the gray and it becomes sustainable controversy. Right now, they're walking that line. Carefully, strategically. But here's the final shock in this phase. The longer Jay-Z remains silent, the more people speculate. And speculation is oxygen. If he responds, it becomes a headline. If he doesn't, it becomes mystery. Either way, attention remains, and attention is currency. So the question isn't, what did Jay-Z do? Because nothing illegal has been proven. The question is, will this perceived alignment between Jason and Nicki solidify into something formal? An interview? A joint appearance? A coordinated narrative shift? If that happens, we're not talking about hints anymore. We're talking about a direct cultural confrontation, and the industry knows it. For now, it's tension, calculated, contained. But if one side drops something concrete, or one interview crosses the line, this stops being speculative drama and becomes a defining power moment in hip-hop.
Exactly.
And that possibility is what has fans furious.
Yes, that's when the fans find out. You know what I'm saying? That's when the fans find out everything.
And watching every move. The moment this narrative started gaining traction, the reaction wasn't quiet. It was divided. And when hip-hop splits into camps, the volume turns up fast. On one side, fans of Nicki Minaj felt vindicated. For years, she has publicly voiced frustration about feeling blocked, sidelined, or treated unfairly by industry power structures. Now, with Jason Lee openly talking about gatekeepers and claiming he felt pressure from powerful figures, many of her supporters saw overlap. Not proof, not confirmation, but validation of a pattern they already believed existed. Social media lit up with posts like, "She's been telling us this for years." Now people are finally speaking up. Power doesn't like being questioned. Again, these are fan reactions, not legal findings. But fan perception drives momentum. Meanwhile, critics pushed back hard. They argued that vague claims about gatekeeping without evidence only fuel conspiracy thinking. They pointed out that no court has ruled that Jay-Z sabotaged Nicki's career. No legal documentation has confirmed coordinated blocking. To them, this felt like narrative framing without receipts. And that's where the industry layer becomes fascinating.
Now, see,
inside music circles, there's an unspoken understanding
now,
about
see,
influence.
You see,
Executives influence opportunities. Partnerships shape access.
yep,
Relationships determine collaborations. None of that is illegal by default.
right,
It's business.
right.
So when Jason frames his experience as being pressured and Nicki frames hers as being blocked, insiders don't immediately assume criminal behavior. They assume politics.
Right.
And politics in entertainment isn't new.
Yo, but check this out, though. What's up with your man? What's up with your mans in them? Your man David. You feel me? We're going to get on him, too. But I got one more thing I want to check out with this nigga here about this Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? This Jason Lee shit. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. I just want y'all to really, 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 really check this shit out. Because if y'all check it out, y'all will see what I'm saying.
Ask you, I know yesterday the Grammys was pretty crazy. I mean, what is your take on Nicki Minaj, like, you know, upsetting the LGBT community yesterday? I mean, is it pretty unforgivable, a lot of the things she said? I mean, she went for Trevor Noah. She went for, I mean, so many, Chrissy Teigen. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, obviously, Nicki is obsessed with dicks, right? She says Chrissy Teigen has one. She's called me a sucker. She's called Don Lemon a sucker. I don't know what her obsession with penises are. But, you know, here's the deal. I'm not thinking of Nicki Minaj today. I think that what she's doing, just the troping, the continuous disregard for the LGBT community, for her fans, for humanity, for everybody, it's an embarrassment to the culture. So I'm not really thinking of Nicki. I think Billy Porter told my reporter the other day on the red carpet exactly how we're all feeling. I don't know if you saw that clip.
Is it unforgivable what she pretty much said about the whole everything? I mean, there's no way of coming back from this, right? Especially the gay community.
Well, I mean, I think Nicki's amassed fans who are loyal to her and her music. And, you know, some people can't separate music from the artist and their politics. I can. I personally think that Nicki is a great rapper, but I can't even think of one song that she has right now past the nonsense that we've been seeing that she's been putting on social media. And the fact that she's cozying up to the administration in light of what's happening around the world, Minnesota, it's sickening, you know, but what can you do?
Are you guys, I mean, you guys are not cool, right? I'm assuming.
I mean, we're not cool. She doesn't like me. Again, once she called me sucker of the month, I kind of went on about my business and I told everybody who she was. And, you know, you have to believe somebody who they are when they say and show you who they are the first time. I've said for years that Nicki was lost, that she was a mess. I said that she rallies her fans to be terrorists. I labeled them a terrorist group years ago on the Breakfast Club, but people weren't listening. I think now that, you know, her support for Donald Trump and the Republican Party of the MAGA is so loud that everybody now sees her for who we saw her a long time ago.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So with that, even
thought that Jason Lee
even
and
with
Nicki
that
Minaj
being
could
said,
ever
even with that being said, y'all need to check this out.
agree on anything, given their long documented feud.
Worst concert I've ever seen, and that's not just because I don't like her. Some people just can't accept the fact that their time has passed.
Like, he trying to say, Nicki, your time has passed. You washed up. You can't make a hit. You can't make no song and can't make the charts. It's just basically over. You're going to have to become more civilized, like, you know, downsize on, you know, I don't even know what your net worth is, but all I know is if you can't afford to live where you live at, you have to downsize. If you're not doing the shows, if you're not on tour, if you're not making these type of money, you know, these people have to survive off of being on tour or off of going on somebody's platform and, you know, them paying them, you know, $25K, $35K, $10K, It don't matter. The thing is, once you tell your story and you get it out there and people listen to it, it's got to be something that they want to hear.
And so they're using all these young girls. Nikki, let me just hear her name. Political. Nikki's using all these young girls to be able to leverage their name because she fell off.
I mean, their feud got so nasty that in September 2023, Jason Lee made a viral and serious allegation involving Nicki Minaj, claiming that Nicki and her husband had allegedly put a hit on him or were trying to have him unalived. Like, he even said that he had proof and intended to take his evidence to the district attorney. So yes, I know that Jason Lee and Nicki Minaj have spent years at each other's throats, but in this industry, I guess the enemy of my enemy is my business partner. Guess what? There have been allegations that Jason Lee and Nicki could potentially be aligning against Jay-Z.
I want Nicki to be the queen that she could be. I want her to be respected and regarded the way that she deserves to be for her talent. But nonetheless, you gotta own what you own. All right.
What a time to be alive. Okay, guys, I know that y'all know that Jason has been very vocal about people who gatekeep in the industry like Jay-Z, and he's actually made several allegations about Jay-Z that have landed him in trouble with the Carters. He even claimed on an episode of his podcast that Jay-Z had been sending people to call him and warn him against speaking about him, saying, "Jay-Z, I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You got people calling me. Call me yourself because this right here is going to go viral. I will tell you, to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting have been about him." So this was actually the first time Jason publicly positioned himself as someone who has been a target of the Roc Nation machinery that Nicki Minaj has been tweeting about. And this is when people actually started noticing a shift in him, aligning with people who have been exposing Jay-Z and Roc Nation, like Jaguar Wright and Nicki Minaj. Now, based on what people have been saying, the peace treaty rumors between Nicki Minaj and Jason started when Jay-Z selected Kendrick Lamar for the 2025 Super Bowl, bypassing Lil Wayne. Of course, Nicki aired out her frustrations, while Jason focused his coverage on the unfairness of the industry gatekeeping, rather than just mocking Nicki's anger. And fans noticed that he didn't go for the jugular like he usually does when Nicki crashes out. Okay, I know you will also say that just a few months ago, Jason Lee was leaning into the viral hashtag #DeportNicki petitions and her controversial political stances, and he even said that she has a weird obsession with D after her post-Grammy rant.
Nicki is obsessed with, right? She says Chrissy Teigen has one. She's called me or she's called Don Lemon I don't know what her obsession with are. But here's the deal. I'm not thinking of Nicki Minaj today. I think that what she's doing, just the troping, the continuous disregard for the LGBT community, for her fans, for humanity, for everybody, it's an embarrassment to the culture. So I'm not really thinking of Nicki. I think Billy Porter told my reporter the other day on the red carpet exactly how we're all.
But look at Jason's most recent commentary more keenly. In late 2025 and early 2026, his tone shifted, and instead of just calling Nicki Minaj crazy, he started framing her as a pawn being used by larger political and industry forces. In fact, on the Jason Lee podcast, he began discussing Nicki's political stunts as desperate moves by someone who has been systematically shut out of the industry elite by people like Jay-Z. And Jason has been strongly bashing these gatekeepers in the last couple of months. On the other hand, Nicki has also been very vocal about how industry giants like Jay-Z have tried to cancel her or block her success to favor other artists like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. See, Nicki previously went on a rant exposing Jay-Z and Tidal for scamming her and trying to silence her with $1 million. She was setting the record straight about her part in Jay-Z's music streaming service sale of Tidal, claiming both he and Steve Stout are spreading lies. And she actually said that she was convinced that Jay-Z was pouring money into pushing Megan Thee Stallion's Hiss to outperform Bigfoot when it was released. More recently, Nicki implied again that she's been sabotaged professionally by Jay-Z and his associates, saying that it's actually the real reason why she doesn't release music. She also said that an unnamed party had been seeking to damage her relationship with her spouse, Kenneth Petty, and that efforts to turn Petty against her have involved lies and friends in high places. In addition, Nicki also said that the social media accounts held by her and her followers were being shadow banned in a clear effort to injure her brand. And she actually had receipts showing how the feature to show people what she was liking had been demolished. And she also reposted a number of communications from fans reporting unexplained technical difficulties they specifically encountered on platforms she uses. At the time, Nicki also reposted an interview done by Demarie Hadley, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. And in the interview, Dem, who was suing suing her mother for committing her to a mental institution, claimed that Roc Nation basically sabotaged Nicki Minaj and took away her freedom of speech. She also said that Roc Nation went after Nicki's family. They've attacked her husband, they've attacked her baby, and it should really scare the American people.
She has been through some trauma, and some of with Roc Nation, with Desiree Perez, with other individuals. What I can say about that is I've witnessed and heard a lot of things. Again, it's hearsay, right? So it doesn't even matter. That's why I'm not even going to go into detail with that. If I have the opportunity to speak with Nicki, would love to connect with her on that. But I've kind of seen, just like you firsthand, how they've they've of her platform, they have her talents, they've of her freedom of speech, they've her family, they've attacked her husband, they've attacked her child, and it's sad. It's really sad. Somebody so resourceful, talented, high profile as Nicki Minaj being targeted. It should really scare the American people. It should really scare you guys too, right? Because I'm the daughter, so it's like at this point, it's happening to me. I think she's really outspoken, and I'm grateful that she's being outspoken on it, because I think she's almost saying it like, well, it happened to me, it's happening to her. Let me speak up on it. Nobody is safe right now.
So basically the assumption is that Jason Lee and Nicki Minaj are secretly aligning to expose Jay-Z. And because of this, they're kind of not bashing each other as strongly as they've always done. In fact, there have been rumors that Jason has been saying behind the scenes that Jay-Z and Beyonce did in fact put out a professional hit on Nicki Minaj. Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be the first time Jay-Z and Beyonce have been accused of putting a hit on other artists. I mean, someone like Blue Cantrell was a successful singer with an amazing voice, with labels literally fighting to sign her. But in 2004, after several hits, Arista Records somehow forgot to renew her contract. Like, how do you forget to renew the contract of one of your most talented singers? Anyway, around this time, when they conveniently forgot to renew the contract, Blue realized that while at the label, she had not made anywhere near as much money as she should have. And in an interview on You Know I Got Soul, Blue revealed that she wishes she had someone who could guide her through the process. Then, one of the last times we had about Blue was in 2012, when there were reports that Blue Cantrell was taken to a hospital for psychological evaluation in Santa Monica, after police responded to the scene after she was seen screaming in the street by passersby. Apparently, she was screaming about someone giving her poisonous gas, and the episode went on long enough that someone called the police. Now, allegedly, the disappearance had a lot to do with the fact that she had some sort of beef with Beyonce, because Jay-Z allegedly wanted her. There were actually rumors that Jay-Z and Blue had a romantic relationship, but when she was asked a few times about the relationship, Blue said that there was nothing going on between her and Jay, although she did admit to Wendy Williams that she had a big crush on him.
I think they're in love. It's politics speaking. No, I really do think they're in love. I have a big crush on him, I'll tell you that much. I still have a crush on him. No, I didn't. No, I'm really selective about it. What? Really? I really like him though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him.
If he came in right now and we were all not here. What? I'm just saying. You're in New York.
Yeah, okay. And what?
If you ran into him and everything was right, would you make that flag?
I wouldn't turn it down. Let's just put it that way.
Other than Blue, MYA was also one of the most successful artists back in the day, and she released her debut album Maya in 1998 with Interscope Records, followed by other studio albums, Fear of Flying and Mood Ring. In the US alone, Maya had over 3.2 million album sales across her career, winning several awards, including a Grammy nomination, and her songs smashed the top charts. However, just like with Blue, back in the day, there were rumors that Maya and Jay-Z had a relationship after collaborating on the remix of her hit song, Best of Me. And because things didn't go well between her and the Caters, she was also sabotaged. Actually, the list of people who have been allegedly sabotaged and blacklisted courtesy of the Carters is long. And I'm talking about people like Amerie, Tierra Marie, MIA, Carrie Hilson, and even Rihanna. Honey, all this sabotaging is what Nicki has been talking about, and she's made it clear more than enough times that her career has taken a professional hit because of Jay-Z. Well, she's also recently made extreme, unverified allegations, claiming that high-level industry figures like Jay-Z are involved in sacrificing young ones to maintain power. She also specifically called out the age gap in Jay-Z's past relationship with Aaliyah and alleged that he began dating Beyonce when she was not yet of age. In addition, Nicki also tied her industry grievances to politics, posting a meme of Jay-Z, Aaliyah, and Beyonce with the caption, "If you ever vote Democrat again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish." Anywho, what people are saying is that Jason Lee knows that the Jay-Z gatekeeping narrative is one of the most viral topics in the world right now. And even though he's been Nicki's #1 critic, Jason is a businessman first, meaning if he switches sides to expose the industry machinery that Nicki claims is suppressing her, it would be the biggest media play of his career. Think about it. Nicki is currently dealing with a massive amount of press regarding her personal life and political moves like that wild citizenship gold card, and she needs a media mouthpiece that isn't afraid of the gatekeepers or the corporate structures. Basically, people are noticing that Jason's tone toward Nicki has shifted from "she's dangerous" to "she's misunderstood by the industry." And if Nicki provides the insider info on how the industry allegedly operates, and Jason provides the platform with no filter, they could create a counter Roc Nation narrative that would shake the foundations of hip-hop. Just imagine the first interview Nicki gives where she actually names names, and she does it on Hollywood Unlocked. The internet would literally break. Well, despite the juicy rumors of a truce, Jason Lee is still a critic, and as recently as early 2026, he has called out Nicki's weird obsessions and controversial slurs, proving that while they may share a common enemy in Roc Nation, he isn't exactly a barb yet. But maybe, just maybe, there could be truth in the alleged truth.
Now, wait a minute. Now, why the fuck would he want to be a barb? I can't make this shit up, man. But anyway, it's just crazy how Jay-Z got to be quiet and think that all the smoke gonna blow over. They gonna be right here waiting on you. So as soon as you put your feet or stick your head out the door, we're gonna get you. Or they gonna get you. Not me, but they will get you. And you're not above the law. So with that being said, my top 5 is going to be Bootsy, Dave East, Mozzie, Tupac, and DMX. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, like, comment, subscribe, let me know something. All right? Peace, love, and happiness.